Are you ready?
I was born ready.
Welcome on in, everybody. Welcome to episode 10 of the Stock Guy and Alex Show, the podcast that covers topics around the world: business, news, markets, money, sports. If people are talking about it, then so are Stocky and I. Stock Guy and Alex Show can be watched, listened, and viewed on YouTube. It can also be downloaded and listened to on Spotify and soon to be much more places where podcasts are downloaded. Follow the show on Twitter,
SoundCloud,
Insta, LinkedIn, and SoundCloud. It gets uploaded to SoundCloud and then it, boom, goes to Spotify. Follow the show on Twitter, Insta, LinkedIn, TikTok, and all the other major socials for clips, moments, and information about new episodes. Stocky, you just said that this hair is kind of a bit.
It's not a bit, it's a protest. It's a silent protest.
Of?
So the new variant has my wife like freaked out. Like she was just starting to get it. We started going out to eat to like places that had outdoors and stuff, and she was just starting to come along. New variant, fucking, new mom. She's from another country. She freaks out, and rightfully so. Her parents, her family almost died from it. But she's gotten so crazy that I was like, I need to get a haircut. And this was like a week ago, and she's like, no, the variant. I was like, listen, I'll go during the day when it's slow. I'll wear whatever you want. I just need a haircut. And she's like, well, why don't you just cut it yourself at home? Other people do that. I'm like, first of all, hell no. And second of all, I just want to go get a haircut. And so she's still giving me shit. So I'm going to do this until she can't stand it anymore and either shaves my head when I'm sleeping or lets me go and get a haircut. So this is a silent protest.
So currently your wife's not letting you get a haircut.
No.
This has become a vocal, non-silent protest.
But the hair doesn't talk, so technically, it's a loud silent protest.
Okay, I mean the variant is kind of crazy. I feel like this is the time in the world where everybody's gonna get it, right? I mean, everybody I feel like knows everybody that's getting that's testing positive or that they think they have it, so they're staying at home. There's like no more tests. I think the post office just said they're now giving out free tests, like 3 free tests per person.
There's nothing free in this world, Alex. The administration's getting like 1 million or 1 billion tests and stuff like that. Oh, speaking of the vaccine and the variant, I got to tell you something real quick. We didn't talk about this. So some company, some article from some like business esports streaming whatever publication got a hold of one of my clips where I was talking about my daughter and how I didn't give her the first vaccine for hepatitis B the day that she was born because we weren't going to meet anybody. She wasn't going to share. Yeah, and whatever like that. But listen, so that clip went out there, and I found an article online that said I was an anti-vaxxer and that I refused to give my daughter the first dose of the COVID vaccine. And so I was like, yo,
wait a second.
what?
Based on the conversation that we had here?
No.
Clip?
It was a clip from my Twitch stream. And so I saw it and I talked about it on the stream today. I was like, dude, these people literally called me an anti-vaxxer who refused to give my kid COVID vaccine. I'm like, number one, it was hepatitis B. Number two, babies can't get the COVID vaccine. Number three, they're really so somebody, whoever wrote it was watching.
I'm glad you didn't say the name of the publication because you don't award free attention to people like that.
But I am going to give them credit right now. Whoever either wrote that or is part of that company was watching my stream today, redacted, wrote an apology to me. 2 different people wrote an apology and they updated the story.
No shot. That's actually good. That story has a good ending. I like the way that story ends. Hopefully that those people end up becoming longstanding members of your community and they hang out all the damn time and they only write truthful articles about you from here on out.
Yeah, but I had a few people, message me after the article got changed and said, you're a fraud. We thought you were one of us and unfollowed me. So I guess I lost a few people.
Hey, you're even Steven. You lose some, you gain some. That's who you are. You're even Steven.
Listen. All I know is that if my viewership falls again and it doesn't come back up, I may have found myself a new audience because hey, listen, it is what it is, and maybe I have to merge or take over a competition. You never know.
You gonna buy another Twitch stream?
Maybe if I see another, if I want to make a move into, I don't know, a different category, maybe I'll just buy it out.
You should buy it out. Also, you should make it so that you buy it out and make a strong move into the Metaverse, according to Bloomberg. You know, if you were to buy something, merger and acquisitions, you know,
There's
if you were
nothing to do with the Metaverse. Stop
why,
it. Just say
then
the
why,
damn thing.
then
Just read the
why
fucking article.
does the headline say Microsoft buys scandal-tainted Activision in bet on Metaverse? Why does it say
It's
that?
not a bet on Metaverse.
It's a Bloomberg
Everybody
article.
thinks the Metaverse is 10 years away. This is more than the Metaverse.
All right,
Just read the article.
hold your
and
horses.
go.
It says Activision CEO Bobby Kotick is expected to leave after the close.
Dick.
Call of Duty publisher faces lawsuits over discrimination. Guys, according to this article on January 18th, I'm sure everybody's already heard this big, huge, miggity, massive news, but Microsoft is buying Activision Blizzard for $69 billion, acquiring a legendary game publisher responsible for franchises like Call of Duty and World of Warcraft, but recently roiled by claims of sexual misconduct and discrimination. In its largest purchase ever, Microsoft will pay $95 a share in cash to add Activision's stable of popular titles, helping the software giant expand its own offerings for the Xbox console and push it into the fast-growing markets for mobile gaming and the Metaverse. There it said. Why is everyone so keying in on this Metaverse thing?
Because it's a fucking trigger word and everybody wants to get in ahead of it because everybody's trying to get in on the next big thing. That's why.
All right, the title of this video is gonna say Metaverse. That's gonna be the first word. If it's so SEO friendly, first word in the title, Metaverse. It says the deal, which would make Microsoft the world's #3 gaming company, also fits with CEO Sat. Oh, I'm gonna butcher this.
My wife laughs every time you do an Indian name.
Me?
Go ahead, just do it.
Satya Nadella. Her strategy of focusing on content, community, and cloud software. Wait, they have a focus.
First of all, it's a dude, and second of all, his last name is not Nutella.
Nadella. Focusing on content, community, and cloud software. It's interesting that they're focusing on content, that they shut Mixer down. But either way, this right here, I listen, this is a big thing. This is a big thing to unpack. What did you guys talk about on stream today?
All right, so the first thing is that, you know, all the other streamers don't wake up until like noon or 2 p.m. So it's their loss. I'm the first one on, and I got to be the first one to talk about it. So boom, roasted, get wrecked, kids. That's number one. Number two, huge thing. I'm going to try and compress this as much as possible. I'm about to make a zip file out of this, okay? First thing is Microsoft is paying $69 billion for Activision Blizzard. Now, it is at $95 per share. A lot of people are saying, holy shit, that is 50% higher than they were trading at a premium. Yes, but Activision was also trading a lot lower because of the PR scandal, or the scandal and the sexual harassment allegations and whatnot. And investors were diving out because they were worried about it and what was going to be the fallout from that. So they really didn't overpay. It probably would have been worth about $80 without this, $83 even with the market pullback. So they are paying a premium, but they're paying for access, and they're paying for something that they would have to pay way more, not just in money, but in time if they wanted to enter the space. Microsoft tried getting into the streaming. They want to get into gaming. They want to have that. They tried it with Mixer. It was a failed experiment, but Microsoft has so much cash that they paid off tens of millions of dollars to a couple influencers. It didn't work. They wrote it off. They said, scrap it, move on, give it to Facebook, sell it to Facebook, whatever. We'll move on from there. Now, remember, Microsoft bought Minecraft. At the time, everybody thought they overpaid for it. Minecraft had a dip, and it came roaring back. Minecraft is the #1 viewed game out there. It is massive, okay? Big money. Last year or the year before, I did a YouTube video when Microsoft bought out Bethesda behind the Elder Scrolls and Fallout and all that, right? So they moved into that. Everybody was like, okay, what's next? And then today they announced that they bought Activision and Blizzard and all the titles. Now, what does this mean? Well, Microsoft may want they have Game Pass, right? They could literally, if they wanted to, they won't, but they could literally take every single Blizzard Activision title and say, okay, it's only available on Game Pass.
That's kind of like Disney Plus's move buying, or Disney's move scooping up all that IP like Star Wars and everything and putting it on Disney Plus, just saying, hey, we want you to subscribe and then give you a reason to literally never unsubscribe.
Yeah, and so if Microsoft wanted to do that, bam, that's just money right there. But there's a few other things that are important to understand here. Number one, Microsoft wants in the gaming space. It is very, very hard to get into that space. They already failed. A company like Microsoft failed with the streaming part. So instead of trying to build into the space, just go and buy your way into it, right? If you have the money, you just buy your way into it. It's like what rich people do all the time. They just buy into stuff, right? They buy, it doesn't matter. So they pay all this money, but people are like, oh, well, that's too much for it right now. But that's right now, okay? There's so so many things down the line. They just scooped up the IP and the titles, all the past titles, all the future titles. It's theirs now. They can let the company continue to do what it wants, bring their own people in, integrate it themselves, take over, whatever they want to do. They have it for the rest of their life. And more importantly, if you think about this 5 to 10 years down the road, and I talked about this on stream, there is a very good chance that this is going to be very profitable for them for when they go mobile. Now, do you remember all of the fallout from when people were like, when they said, you guys have phones, don't you?
Of course.
Okay. Everyone hated that, but let me tell you why it's important. China, Asia, everyone has a phone. Some people have 2 phones. They take transportation. They have a lot of extra time. They play, and they are always on their phone. The issue is right now the government has actually banned gaming for some people and limiting for others to get them to start working again, because they're having the same thing like we're having with the Great Resignation. People are just not working, and they're slowing down on their production. However, that's not going to last forever. And if these games go to mobile and they're worth it, especially stuff like whatever games you want to talk about, you can name any title. Here's the thing. United States is the only country that has a problem with paying to win on games. Other countries, it's just normal. They'll just pay. You know, it's $5 to upgrade this. It's $10 for this. They just pay. They don't do the whole ads or grind for free.
It's big in mobile. It's big in the mobile space. Is pay to win is big in mobile space. People typically don't have as much of a problem with it because it's really more of a pastime. It's really kind of like a solo experience. There's obviously there's some
and
social.
Outside the United States, people pay for it. So imagine having 1 billion people playing your titles and willing to shell out money. It's ridiculous what could go forward with this in the next 5 to 10 years. Not only that, here's a fun fact of the day. You know, Candy Crush still brings in $1 billion a year.
I mean, dude, I believe it. All of the development talent has been working on mobile. Like what game is it? PUBG. PUBG's the big one where, it got really popular on PC, and a lot of streamers got really popular on it, and there was a lot of like follow-on VOD content on YouTube. But then it really started to die and taper off. But that's just because they were putting all of their care and attention into their mobile experience, which is being developed by all of whatever you could view as like top development talent. Like top development talent wants to work in mobile right now because that's where all the money is. Like you would just assume that if you're coming out of college, or if you now have this new skill and you want to go make cash, you're gonna think, where would I land up? Where would I end up? Where could I land? Mobile is where everyone's going. That's where everyone's thinking.
Zynga just got bought for millions and millions of dollars. Now, I don't want to steamroll this, but there's 2 things I want to get into. Number one is there is, and I'm going to tinfoil hat this one, but like a mini tinfoil hat. Like I'm going to hold the tinfoil hat, not actually put it on.
Well, it got also disclaim on which part of this you're wearing the tinfoil hat for, because this is an onion. There's layers to this thing.
So I don't think Microsoft is done yet taking over part of this space, and I'm going to tell you why. I think there's one more big purchase that we might see down the line.
Does it count as a tinfoil hat if it's a prediction? You're like putting it on your hand right now.
Well, I mean, I could put it on my...
okay. So put it on your head. Or no, because you can't because of the silent protest.
It's on my...
Yeah, if you guys are listening and you're not watching, you can only infer as to where he might have put it if he didn't put it on his head.
All right. So here's the thing. So here is Stocky's prediction for the next year or 2. They take FIFA.
You mean the video game?
The video game.
They take the FIFA video game?
FIFA
from EA?
FIFA goes to Microsoft.
Like they're going to do some backways deal with the actual FIFA organization?
This is why I love and hate having a memory like I do. Let me tell you something. FIFA is currently fighting with EA right now. Now, EA Sports, 15% of their revenue comes from one single game, and that is FIFA, okay? It is worldwide. It is massive, okay? FIFA is currently fighting with EA and has been for several months over the renegotiating the contract for the rights. And FIFA wants a certain amount of money. EA says they're not willing to pay it. There's been rumors that FIFA could walk if they didn't get the right money or they found a better suitor. Now all of a sudden, Microsoft, with a lot of money on hand, came out of the woodwork and just bought Activision after buying Bethesda, having Minecraft. Imagine if they went up to FIFA and said, "Hey, baby, I got what you're looking for. I got what you're looking for right here. Here's that money you need." Boom, gone. It is not about loyalty in this world. It is about money. And I think Microsoft takes FIFA, and that is the next thing. And they are going to take another chunk out of EA, and only Take-Two's after that. And Take-Two, what are they going to do? They're going to just rehash another fucking GTA?
So it's
what are they going to do?
you're
Red Dead
basically-
Redemption 9, fucking Back to the Future on their train or something?
So your tinfoil hat is that it's basically a land grab of IP right now. Is basically what you're saying. It's
Microsoft tried it with the streaming space, didn't work out. They said, fuck it, let's just streamline, go straight to the gaming space.
The streaming space stuff doesn't even make any sense how that would correlate to this, because content's different than game development. I mean, Mixer is what it is. We don't need to talk about that. But like the idea that they're now just basically gonna target all the different IPs and say time to just land grab. That's basically what's going on. Like that's the exact Disney Plus play, or the exact Disney play. Like I don't know if you saw this, but Disney Plus signed a deal with Disney, which signed a deal with the SEC to distribute all of the SEC college football games starting in 2024 and on the Disney Plus platform. Like that's just a land grab of IP. All they're basically
it is right now. And the funny thing is that this is all about testing the limits, because the Biden administration had come in and said, oh, we're going to go after with antitrust and we're going to stop monopolies and shit. And Microsoft is like, oh yeah, let's see you do it. All right. Now, remember, Microsoft got broken up in the 90s for being a monopoly, but Amazon is considered a monopoly now. Facebook, the FTC is already going after them, whatever. And so this is going to be big. This deal is not done. And that's why Activision is not sitting at $95 a share right now, because there's a long time until 2023, and there's no guarantee it's going to happen. Also, the big elephant in the room, is the CEO of Activision and Blizzard, who is the lightning rod for everything going on right now. He's doubling down on this shit, trying to be the ultimate frat bro, covering his guys who did a lot of horrific shit. This is why he's in the driver's seat, because he has what's called a golden parachute, and if they fire him, he's gonna rake in $300 million.
So again, this thing is layers. There's many layers to this thing, and we're gonna end up probably talking about it for like another 5-10 minutes. I mean, there's definitely layers to this thing. A company just bought another company for $69 billion. Nice, 68.7. Nice. But guys, the part of the Bloomberg article here that Stocky's talking about is taking on Activision also introduces a whole host of legal and potential regulatory problems to Microsoft. Activision has been shrouded in controversy since July after a California state agency filed a sexual bias lawsuit against the Santa Monica, California-based company, describing in lurid detail its, and as Stocky said, its frat boy culture, and accusing leadership of failing to take action to stop it. I'm a frat boy. I was in a frat boy culture. Of
course you were in a frat.
It says it's frat boy culture and accusing leadership of failing to take action to stop
every
it.
Rich kid in a frat.
The U.S. SEC. I was in a frat called Farmhouse. It was the agriculture kids. The U.S. SEC later launched its own investigation into how.
Did you learn how to grow coffee?
It was engineers and agriculture kids. But yeah, I definitely drank a lot of coffee. I mean, it was college.
Not what I said.
I'd grow coffee. No, I never grew any coffee. Drank a lot of coffee.
You grew something else, didn't you?
The SEC later launched its own investigation. I don't know how to grow things. Own investigation into how the company handled the reports of misconduct. The deal will also likely face tough regulatory scrutiny in the U.S., where big tech companies are being probed by regulators for their reach and influence. China, which has been sparring with the U.S. already over tech issues, will also likely review.
You just
listen. There's also codec stuff. So go forth.
I mean, this is not what people listen to. They could go read the fucking article if they want that. They want to hear me rant, and they want to hear you rile me up and then pretend like you're the victim. Okay. Here's the thing. First of all, you went to Missouri. I think you went to Mizzou at the same time my wife was doing her graduate degree there. I think that's funny. But with that all being said, listen, you're right. We could have this conversation forever, okay? And I feel like we should maybe wait for some more updates on it before we come back to this story again. It's something we got to keep an eye on. The golden parachute thing, I'm going to talk about on stream tomorrow probably and do a YouTube video on it. But golden parachute basically is a CEO basically getting a prenup. You know what I mean? They're like, hey, listen, you guys want me to be head of your company? All right, I'll do it. You want me bad? Fine. But this is what I want if something goes bad. And they say, okay, fine. If you get fired, then we'll give you XYZ, XYZ, XYZ. And then he's set up for enough incentives that if he gets fired, he's going to get $300 million, basically severance, golden parachute package. If he doesn't get fired, then Microsoft has to deal with the PR nightmare for that. So I think if I am, and I don't know all the intricate details, but if I am Microsoft, I wait, and when the year is up and and we finally acquire it, I'm going to basically either sit down and be like, hey, listen, take this $100 million and go, or else we're going to let you stay CEO and we're going to have the board do all the decisions and you're going to be a nobody. Or if I have to, pay the $300 million, get rid of it, because they're going to make more money by clearing that black stain or that dark stain off of their books than by keeping them. That's my last little bit on it.
I think that's a good bet. I think it's a good way to round it out. There's a lot going on here. Obviously, there's the whole sexual bias, misconduct, the whole CEO thing, the frat boy culture. I mean, listen, I never worked there. Stocky never worked there. It's obviously there's probably some fire to all that smoke. I just don't know how any of us could speak on it that weren't there. You want to see proper recourse though, and proper justice for those that deserve it. But I mean, listen, this is going to be an ongoing story. We're going to hear much more about this in the coming days and weeks. What I'm not hearing about though at all is how this is relevant to the metaverse at all. And I've thumbed through this thing, and everybody keeps saying it's a big bet on the metaverse. However,
into the metaverse, there's probably going to be frats in the metaverse. They got to have firsthand experience for when they, make those frats and the parties happen. And never mind. Keep going.
Well, when the parties happen, you got to go buy beer and stuff. If you're going to buy beer and stuff, where are you going to go? You're going to go up and down the street. You're going to go to your grocery store. You're going to go maybe to Walmart. You're going to load up with some beer when you go to Walmart.
Do I look like I'm down so bad that I buy my beer from Walmart?
If Microsoft's not getting into the metaverse, rest assured, Walmart is quietly preparing to enter this keyword again, metaverse, according to an article on CNBC.com. This article says Walmart appears to be venturing into the metaverse with plans to create its own cryptocurrency and collection of, here's another one of these words everyone loves to say, non-fungible tokens, or NFTs. The big box retailer built several new trademarks last month that indicate its intent to make and sell virtual goods, including electronics, home decor, toys, sporting goods, and personal care product. In a separate filing, Walmart said it would offer users a virtual currency as well as NFTs. Walmart, not Microsoft. Walmart is moving into this space. Stocky, you gonna buy a virtual beer for your virtual frat party?
No, I'm not gonna. First of all, I'm not going to a virtual frat party. I'm too fucking old for that. Imagine some 36 turning 37 in April guy going to a frat party. No, that's weird. Okay, that's weird. Okay, I'm not that guy. I will never be that guy. That's number one. Number two,
I'm not that guy with the hair.
I'm not spending. I'm not that guy.
I've never heard a less believable plea from you. I'm not that guy. I'm looking at you like, yeah, you're probably that guy. You're probably...
Listen, all right. I'm already barely getting through the days. Okay, but no, I mean, listen, NFTs are like, I just feel like it's the next Beanie Babies. I'm sorry. Okay, listen, all right. If I can right click, copy paste, and I have the same thing that you paid $6 million for, I'm sorry. I don't care what blockchain fucking code you have. That's it. That's it. These are Beanie Babies. These are virtual Beanie Babies. It changed my mind.
Gerben said, who's Josh Gerben, a trademark attorney. Gerben said that ever since Facebook announced it was changing its company name to Meta, signaling its ambitions beyond social media, businesses have been rushing to figure out how they will fit into a virtual world. God, that's just reeks of FOMO. That just reeks of FOMO and people investing large sums of cash just for FOMO. All of this, is this literally because of, this is follow-on energy from when Zuckerberg decided he was just going to like live a social life online, like with the metaverse?
No, the Dutch are behind this.
The Dutch? Go ahead.
Do you really need me to explain this to you?
For our audience, go ahead. Why'd you just bring up the Dutch?
No. For our audience, my ass.
Nike
do you know why I'm bringing up the Dutch here? I don't. But
I wouldn't ask a follow-on. But you brought it up, and I know our audience is going to care.
I'm going to throw it in the story ideas channel just for you. So the first pump and dump in history was orchestrated by the Dutch. It was called Tulip Mania. Okay, they got around and they started getting a bunch of people who got tulips, and they got together and they said, you know what? Let's convince people that tulips are the next big thing. And they got tulip bulbs, and they started convincing regular people that were in desperate economic times, hey, if you buy this, it is going to be worth 1 million times more one day. And they got them, and then they got their buddies, and they did it. And next thing you know, people were freaking out about it. And for a small window of time, people were trading their houses for a tulip bulb. They were trading horses for their tulip bulb. They were giving away their kids for a tulip bulb.
Giving away their kids.
I don't know. I
got the wiki up.
But if you look at it, it went all the way up and then immediately crashed, and everyone lost everything except for the people who were smart enough to convince everyone else it was worth something, and they had a bunch of houses and horses and kids.
Here's the tulip price index. Here's the tulip.
You had farms. Somebody had to work the farms. Shit.
Here's the tulip price index from the year 1636 to 1637. Was that $200 a tulip bulb?
And think about how much money that was back then.
Yeah, like then $200 for a tulip bulb.
That was a house.
Yeah, that's like $200K now. On February 3rd of 1637, and then by May 1st, it was worth nothing.
Never trust the Dutch, dude. Never trust the Dutch. I think they're behind NFTs.
Is that Holland and the Netherlands?
I'm not getting into geography here, okay? I'm the stock guy. I'm not the geography guy, okay? Get Bobby Burns on here if you want some fucking geography, okay? That's not me. But listen, let me tell you something. All right, somebody told me you wouldn't download a tulip, okay? But if tulips are the NFTs, okay? But I was told as a kid, you wouldn't download a car. You wouldn't download a tulip. You wouldn't download someone's NFT because you'd be pirating it, and that is illegal. But sometimes pirating and things around pirating can be very profitable. Take it away, Alex.
According to an article on bosshunting.com.au, the insanely lucrative pirate stock exchange in Somalia is absolutely having a golden age right now. It says the earliest instance of modern stock trading occurred in Amsterdam with the Dutch East India Trading Company. In order to raise capital, it sold shares, yada, yada, yada. When does this actually get? Oh, it says to an extent, the pirate stock exchange found in Somalia has managed to preserve a good deal of the Dutch East India Company's original spirit. This is all still going on. This is an article published in 2021. So I mean, this isn't like 200 years ago. This is right now.
This was a couple months ago.
Okay, so Stocky, this article is actually it's a little sensational. It kind of gets into a little bit more storytelling. Can you give us a TLDR of what's going on over here?
All right, so it is a little bit sensationalism, but there is some truth to it. So the pirate stock exchange is kind of like our stock exchange in a way, right? Like in our stock exchange, you buy a share, you give your money to the company in hopes that they take your money, do something big with it, which increases the value of the share. And then you can sell your share to somebody else, or the company will buy back or pay a dividend and give you money. In this case, the Somali pirates have decided, instead of relying solely on the booty that they get, okay, we're married men, so we don't understand, but the booty that they get, they go and they basically get investors, and they say, hey, listen, if you fund our mission to take on this ship, and we'll give you a share, of the booty that we get. And that is what's going on. And there is a lady who ended up investing, and it funded them an RPG, and they used said RPG on a heist, as it were, on the open seas, and returned her $75,000 on her investment.
So again, this article is kind of sensational, but it says the enterprising individuals behind each pirate operation and potential investors apparently survey trading routes for prospects they believe will pay out. When something juicy comes along, they hit up the stock exchange to fund their expedition. Absolutely anybody down there can sponsor the journey with anything from food, kerosene, weapons, information to regular old cash. The pirates then attack the container ships along the routes they've scoped for the most precious cargo there is, hostages. According to Investor, sailor hostages earned these entrepreneurial criminals an average of US $4 million from Western Shipping Insurance per job. Once the money is secured, everybody goes home relatively unscathed, and the process is repeated until there's no money left to be made. One lady, again, the RPG, yeah, I mean, Jesus, man, this is all still going on. I mean, there was that story.
Like what? With you, I love this, and I know it's gonna make me sound terrible, but I love this. Okay, first of all, if I'm an investor in American Stock Exchange and I give money to a company and they go out and commit genocide, I mean, that's horrible, but I don't get in trouble, right? Like, I mean, fuck, hey, I just gave money. I'm not, I don't sign no contract on whatever. So if that's in line, this is not a bad ROI, right? Because it feels like the best ROI. Like, either you give the money for them, they go out on a boat and they get like just mowed down by a machine gun. You lose your investment, right? Yeah, you gave them $100. It is what it is. But if they actually take that container ship, you might get 1,000% return. I feel like that's a coin flip I'm willing to take. I mean, if I'm going to 0 or 1,000%, I do it. So if the federal government, CIA, FBI, anybody is listening to this right now, hey, I'm not actually doing it yet. I'm not doing it, but the thing is that I personally think this might be a good endeavor. Now, I'm not pro pirate, okay?
I play a pirate game every morning.
Okay, well, I mean, the Pittsburgh Pirates suck. But the thing is that here, I'm not pro pirate per se, but if I were in Somalia, which seems like a place that's pretty desperate, and I didn't want to get my hands dirty, I didn't want to go out there and take the risk, I may, buy somebody an RPG, hey.
So this quote here from the Wall Street Journal says, piracy increases the cost of international commerce by $12 billion annually. And in Somalia alone, more than 20 vessels and 400 hostages are currently being held. 400 are currently being held in Somalia? Bro, you got to get rid of the hostage thing. I know
people die from falling coconuts every year. You don't give a shit until you read the headline.
No, we care, man. We care. Okay,
Alex, go over there and rescue him.
I can't go over there. I don't have the wherewithal to go pull 400 hostages out.
Get on a plane.
But all I'm saying is, like, listen, you steal some, I don't know, you steal some bags of chips or something like that. That's one thing.
Wait, are you advocating stealing?
Am I?
That's shoplifting. No, you just said it's okay if you steal it. It's like, it's okay if you take.
First off, my sentence wasn't done. Second off, it is a hypothetical. And third off, it's still not a silent. It's still not a silent thing you got going on over there. I'm staring at that hair. It's staring back at me. So listen, you steal bags of chips.
Aliens.
Yeah, that's all I'm thinking about. You steal bags of chips.
No, you're thinking about stealing fucking food from somebody.
But you steal a human? Come on, there's got to be these Somalian pirates. Come on, leave the people be. Go on and steal the chips.
What's wrong with stealing a human? The Dutch did it.
It's just, we're talking about the Dutch a lot today, man. There's a good amount of Dutch today. Is that Holland or is that the Netherlands? Is it both?
Does it really matter?
Is it both? Is it
if I showed you Somalia on a map, would you know Somalia versus Sudan?
No.
Okay,
but I'm not asking about that. I was asking about the Dutch.
Oh, because they're white?
No, because you said it. And so I said, is that Holland or the Netherlands?
Okay, listen, here's the thing about pirating, okay? Pirating ships has been around for hundreds and hundreds of years, okay? You would think by now there would be a way of anti-pirating ships, but I'm not worried about getting pirated on a ship because I don't go on ships, okay? Just like that Norwegian cruise line that just was 1,000 miles from land and had to shut down because of COVID. Now everybody's like in a container back on the way back. I am only concerned if we start getting plane pirates, air pirates. That's what worries me, Alex. I have sleepless nights worrying about the day that pirates take to the sky.
Plane pirates? How are they going to access? How are they going to attack? What's going to be their?
It's not. Listen, you heard of the shoe bomber? Nothing. Okay, it's not that. This is. Hold on.
Hat, guys. If you're listening, the hat's back on. Now it's on his actual head.
Listen. The terrorists used to come on and they use box cutters. They use bombs, shoe bombs, underwear bombs. No, that ain't how they're doing it. The terrorists had a long-term plan. They was going to invent a vaccine that gave you 5G. And when you fly, that 5G going to take down the plane. We're living in the end times there, Alex.
Major U.S. airlines. Major U.S. airlines warned 5G could ground some planes, wreak havoc. How do you say that?
It'd be wreak havoc.
We could also wreak havoc.
Wreak havoc.
I've heard people say wreck.
No, I like you'd say like wreak is havoc, and wreck is like what I do to your mom.
Good Lord. Major U.S. airlines warned that 5G could ground some planes. By the way, the last episode where you're with your rant against the vegans and you said I murdered your mom, like that to me was probably the highlight of this podcast so far. Like that was, if you guys haven't heard, you should go back to listen to episode 9. Incredible moment towards the end, about the 45 minutes in, Stocky rants about vegans and people that are into crypto and all this stuff. Guys, but on this podcast, episode 10, Airlines are apparently going to be vulnerable against 5G, wreaking havoc amongst our planes, and also against Stocky's per Stocky's tinfoil hat theory. Something about terrorists are going to use it, take over our skies. It says the CEO of major U.S. passenger and cargo carriers, or the chief executives, of major U.S. passenger and cargo carriers on Monday warned of an impending catastrophic aviation crisis in less than 36 hours when AT&T and Verizon are set to deploy new 5G service. The airlines warned the new C-band 5G service set to begin on Wednesday could render a significant number of wide-body aircraft unusable, could potentially strand tens of thousands of Americans overseas, and cause chaos for U.S. flights. When was this article dated? January 18th. That is now. That is today. Okay, so the timer is going. We've
been telling y'all about 5G for years, and you laughed at us, but who's laughing now?
Unless our major hubs are cleared to fly, the vast majority of the traveling and shipping public will essentially be grounded, wrote the chief executives of American Airlines, Delta, United Airlines, Southwest, and others in a letter first reported by Reuters. The Federal Aviation Administration has warned that potential interference could affect sensitive airplane instruments such as altimeters and significantly
let's get on with it.
hamper low visibility operations. Listen, man, there's got to be some sense to this. There's got to be some moving parts here.
A few days ago, so Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile trying to catch up. They're basically rolling their 5G out, right? I love Verizon stock. I think it's heavily undervalued. I love their dividend. I think they're going to be massive, right? 5G rollout, all right? They want to have a new network out there. Now, you know how they always tell you to turn off your mobile devices on the plane? Okay, I never did because I wanted to see if it would bring the plane down or not. When I was a kid. Okay, but I mean, I actually, because I wanted to listen to my iPod or whatever. But yeah, the thing was, is my planes never crashed. Okay, so I was always a believer that this didn't happen. It was all bullshit. It was just a way to get you to like listen and control you or whatever. I don't know. But here's the thing: they're stating, and this was a big fight, and Pete Buttigieg, after his paternity leave, came back, and he had a talk with these guys and said, "Hey, listen. We need you to not roll this out around the airports, the biggest 50 airports." And at the last second, Verizon and AT&T were like, "Okay, we won't do it there, but we're gonna wait 6 months. We'll give you a 6-month window, but we're gonna roll it out to the rest." And so now the pilots and not the pilots, but the unions and the companies are like, "Hey, listen, if the 5G is close to these airports, it's gonna mess with the radar frequencies, the communications with the tower. It's gonna mess with the altimeters, and we're not gonna fly. And if this is allowed to do it, we're going to ground all our flights." Now, are they going to get their bluff called or not? And the question is what is the administration going to do? Because they've got two things going on. Number one, they got the telecom companies, which are massive lobbyists and are massive money movers. Or are they going to side with the airlines? And I think they're going to side with the airlines. I think out of nowhere, we're going to see AT&T and Verizon back off either because of a backdoor deal, or the administration is going to come out and delay it, because what's going to happen is right now, the approval rating for the president has just fallen off a cliff. The vice president, she has the lowest approval rating of any vice president in history right now. And if the planes ground and more people miss out on flights and are delayed and everything like that, the planes are going to say, "Oh, sorry, we couldn't do anything about it." And then everyone who's a voter who might actually vote for these guys again they're worried about votes. They're worried about votes. So I don't know. Listen, me personally, I will always carry my Shungite. Okay, I think regardless, I think Shungite sales are going through the roof. This is not investment advice, but I say all in Shungite because this is what we need. This is gonna be. I'm gonna carry it. I have Shungite and I am going to carry it.
Real quick, I want to pull up an image of Shungite right here, real quick.
I have Shungite. I have it behind me.
You're holding it?
I have a pyramid of it and I have a rock.
Here is an image of Shungite right here, y'all. Big. Or small, I guess it depends on how you cut it. Just black rocks, kind of like, what's been going on the news. This massive black diamond that people are talking about. According to AP News, everybody, out of this world, 555.5 carat black diamond lands in Dubai. Look at this. Look at this image of this black diamond. Are you kidding me?
Massive.
An employee of Sotheby's Dubai presents a 555 carat. Okay, that's just a little caption. It says, auction house Sotheby's Dubai has unveiled a diamond that's literally from out of this world. calls it an enigma. The rare gem was shown off on Monday to journalists as part of a tour in Dubai and Los Angeles. They expect the diamond to be sold for at least 5 million British pounds, which is $6.8 million. The auction house plans to accept crypto as a possible payment as well. The shape of the diamond is based on the Middle Eastern palm symbol of the Kamsa, which stands for strength, and it stands for protection. There's a theory in here though. Where's the theory? That this thing is not even from Earth, that this thing came from space.
It's a selling point, okay? It's a lie to make it sound more attractive. Exactly what I did on my dating profile. The reason my wife went on a first date with me, okay? It is what it is, all right? I'm sorry, I blacked out for a second there because I've been paying attention to SoFi stock for a few days now as the stock has been falling and it's been getting upgrades. And they just announced a little while ago that they just got regulatory approval to become a national bank, and the stock's up 17% after hours, and I'm pissed.
17%.
Back to what we were talking about. Yes. So what they're saying is that this black diamond, this giant black diamond, isn't even from this planet. It most likely was carried from a meteorite millions of years ago and crashed in the United States. That's just their way of fucking trying to sell it. Okay. They also don't even have a reserve up for it because they don't know what they're going to get for it. They're just kind of throwing it out there. I think it sells for a lot of money because that is like a real world NFT. It's literally what an NFT is in the real world. But unlike that, I can't copy and paste this diamond. So
it would be like a non-token though. It's just non-fungible.
Yeah, it's a non-fungible item, not a token.
Well,
it's
actually, that's not even that's not. I don't even think that's true necessarily. It is fungible unless there's more black diamonds.
No, it's not.
Are there more black diamonds?
Fungible means you can copy it or get the exact same thing.
Which is why my follow-up question was: are there more black diamonds?
There are other black diamonds, but not, in the same clarity and cut and
do they do clarity of black diamonds? I don't think they do clarity of black diamonds. I don't think they do.
I didn't realize you worked for fucking De Beers.
Are we having a conversation about the fungibility of the diamond?
I would imagine that there's like that when you look at it, it reflects light based on its milkiness or its clearness.
I know, but I just thought they only graded like the clear diamonds.
Oh my god, I'm gonna have to actually Google this. What did I say? Clarity? Let me see. Hold on.
You said the word clarity.
Black diamond clarity.
It's not see-through.
Says who?
I can't see through. Can you see through it?
Black diamonds are opaque, meaning their clarity is not measured by the same scale as colorless to near colorless diamonds, okay? But they are still graded on clarity. Boom, get roasted, you frat boy.
You just read some ambiguous Google search.
No,
what is that?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
What is that from? You call me.
That's from diamonds.pro.
Diamonds.pro. Okay. All right.
Ultimate guide to black diamonds. Hold on.
Okay. And this is on diamonds.pro.
4 facts you didn't know about black diamonds.
Let's hear them.
No one can agree on how they were formed. There you go. Number 2, they are tougher than normal diamonds. Number 3, they absorb light instead of reflecting it. 4, they've become popular with men.
So
okay.
They reflect light instead of absorb it. I don't know anything about diamonds. I'm not even going to try to pretend like I know anything about diamonds. Guys, apparently this 555.5 carat black diamond is going to sell for like $7 million. Not billion, million with an M. If you guys want this, I guess reach out.
I'm looking at one right now that has little flakes of stuff inside, and it's not pure all the way through. There's clarity. That's clarity.
I don't know if that's clarity. I think
that's clarity because it's what is. Now I have to look up the definition of clarity. Hold on.
No, I think you should look up the definition of opaque because that was the word. What is the definition of opaque? Because that's what they described it as, an opaque thing.
Clarity, the quality of being coherent and intelligible, or the quality of transparency or purity.
Yo, the amount of like, if there are anybody that like knows what the hell's up with diamonds,
experts that watch this. El Pesto doesn't even watch my show anymore.
We know nothing about diamonds, and it absolutely shows. It 100% shows. If people want this diamond, go ahead. Shell out $7 million for it. They're also accepting crypto, I guess. But you better hurry up though. Because the value of money is changing, and it's changing big time. Stock, anything else from that website?
I don't know. I'm not on the website anymore.
From diamonds.pro?
No, I don't buy diamonds.
Guys, hurry up. Otherwise, your 7 million is going to turn into like 7.7 billion or whatever. U.S. inflation has hit 7% as of December, and it's the fastest pace of inflation since 1980. 82, according to an article on wallstreetjournal.com, WSJ.com. We talked about this consumer price index a little bit. It says consumer price index has exceeded 6% year over year for the third straight month. This is actually paywalled. Stocky, what did you talk about inflation at all?
Inflation's going crazy. That's the end of the story. Okay, they're telling us it's going down. It ain't. Okay, in some cases, inflation's up double digits. All right, 7% year over year. Monthly, it's still going up, and they're probably going to cut rates. Some people are expecting 4 times this year. So if you haven't refinanced your mortgage, haven't refinanced your debt, haven't taken out a loan, you better do it quick. The treasuries are going up right now. The market is in shambles. I'm trying to hedge. I'm literally trying to buy shungite right now. Fuck black diamonds. I already bought some.
What, black diamonds or shungite?
No, shungite. I bought a whole bunch of shungite rocks. Do you know what shungite is?
Yeah. We just pulled up a little image of it. I mean,
anybody know what it is?
Who you asking?
No, not Sugnite. I think he's still in prison.
Who are you talking to?
I'm talking shungite.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
It sounded like you were having a conversation.
Anyways, it's a 2 billion year old like rock stone that protects against frequencies and unwanted frequencies that may be traveling in the air. That's my story. I bought a whole bunch of the stuff, put them around the La Casa, little pyramids, stuff like that.
You just sounded like you were on the phone with someone else. You were not even participating in this conversation for a good 45 seconds.
I was just telling you about shungite.
Thank you for the info about shungite. Thank you so much for the info about shungite. Where can you find shungite, Stocky?
You can actually get it from different dealers. But the problem is actually getting it to you in time without somebody stealing it nowadays.
Any more shungite facts?
I just segued into the train story.
Oh,
and
train
not
story
the one
was
that
not
your
next.
mom.
Train story was not next. Stocky is off the rails, participating in conversations that don't actually exist.
That's 2 mom jokes.
Off the rail on the run of show. Off the rail on the mom jokes. The mom jokes, man. That's
Come
3.
on, I was segueing into a train joke. That's perfect. All right, what are you talking about? We skipped from massive black
Okay, this is the story that Stocky wants to talk about.
Black diamond to inflation. You missed the train.
This is the story that Toxie wants.
Toxie? Oh, I'm toxic now?
Oh, that was a little Freudian. That Stocky wants to talk about. Not Toxie like you're toxic, but like you remember Toxic Llama? Guy who brought you soup?
Who? No.
Guy who brought
Seems
you
like
soup.
A forgettable person.
Who brought you soup to your door.
We're running out of time, Alex. We're
not running out of time. We got plenty of time.
We're going straight from black diamonds to trains. Let's go.
According to this article on apnews.com, a train has derailed near LA.
This podcast is derailed.
It has. We have derailed today. This all in a recent wave of cargo theft. So crews made railroad repairs in LA Monday after a train derailed near the locations where thieves have been raiding cargo containers, leaving the tracks littered with emptied boxes of packaged goods sent by retailers. We should have put this right after the pirate conversation. That was dumb by you and I. It wasn't immediately clear if the derailment that happened Saturday was caused by the debris left behind by thieves in the Lincoln Heights area near downtown LA. Union Pacific said the cause of the derailment was under investigation. I've been seeing pictures of this. All of our Amazon packages are getting yoinked right now. I've been seeing pictures all over Twitter and on the internet of people just stealing from cars or from train cars.
I want to apologize to whoever's espresso maker that I got, but listen, I got a good deal for it. Some crackhead wanted $10 and it was still in the box. So, good luck on that return.
I mean, UP says we've increased the number of Union Pacific special agents on patrol, and we've utilized and explored additional technologies to help us combat this criminal activity. I mean, it's theft, right? It's stealing. People are just stealing stuff. And I mean, at some point, everyone's going to say this is a good idea. I feel like that's the game. This is like the game theory of our society. Everyone just...
How did it take this long for them to realize this?
It's like...
Maybe it's because more shit's being shipped by rail than ever before. I don't know.
Everybody just agrees, hey, we're not going to steal stuff. We're all just going to behave, and we're all just going to, have a society here. But the second that, all these people start stealing stuff, it becomes anarchy. I don't know how big of a deal this is becoming, but I've been seeing more pictures of it now than ever before. This completely makes... Remember the idea that Amazon had where it was going to like send drones to people? It was going to send packages to people's houses in drones. You can no longer even come close to doing anything like this if people are literally just breaking into the trains and stealing.
Oh, that was never going to work, especially if you want to do like I mean, think about it. If you go into like like some rural area and there's a drone flying over, you know that shit's getting shot down.
100%.
I mean, come on, there's a package. I mean, I'm going to shoot it down. It cost me a 40-cent bullet. Worst case, I get some Oxycontin. I mean, come on.
Jesus. You need more to fuel you today with this hair. I can't. You talking about the crackheads and the Oxycontin you're going to shoot down. Like this is new Stocky right now.
This is why you listen. Okay.
I miss old Stocky, peppy hands. Yeah. So, I mean, this is just some big thing that's happening, guys. If you're ordering on Amazon and your stuff gets stolen, if it doesn't show up, look at these images right here. It's because it's littered across these train tracks right here, these rail yards.
You know, Union Pacific officers used to be a different breed back in the day. Like if this was 150 years ago, there wouldn't be any theft because they just walked around with 44 magazines and shotguns and just murdered everybody.
They would just shoot you on sight. But I mean,
yeah, they would literally shoot you on sight and plant some kind of contraband on you. It's basically like regular cops today, but it was how it was. I mean, there was just no repercussion. There was just nothing. The unions of the railroads had the money, and nobody fucked with that.
Yeah, man, life's different now. Apparently, this is a big deal.
Have you ever thought about train hopping?
You mean like
I had like a fantasy when I was younger of like leaving for a year and just hopping trains and just no idea where they're going, where I end up, and just travel like that.
That's kind of like van life. What we talked about a few podcasts ago. You had a fantasy of van life. You were almost the first van lifer.
That's like glamping versus camping. Fuck out of here with
you
that.
were almost the first van lifer. That's incredible to hear.
Van life, you know where you're going. A train is like, where am I going to end up? I have no idea.
You definitely have an idea. It tells you where your destination is.
No, you don't. No. See, this is what you rich people don't get. You're thinking I'm going to buy a ticket and get on Amtrak.
People.
No, I'm talking about
Stocky
you see
wants
a
you to
fucking
believe
train
that
going
not...
by and you just jump on it and go.
Stocky wants you to believe that he's not rich people. That's what his goal is right now.
I didn't grow up with money. I grew up. Literally the exact opposite of anything that is rich is what I was. I grew up with worms and lice in my hair because we didn't have medical shit. I didn't have electricity or running water, and I was eating fucking government food because my mom was giving away the food stamps for drug money. No. Okay, I'm talking. I'm talking train hopping, not buying a ticket and going to a destination. I'm talking about you're walking along the tracks and there's a fucking train going by and you run up next to it and jump on it and just ride it until you get off.
Old
I didn't even think about that.
I was waiting for you. There was an opportunity.
It didn't even cross my mind.
I was waiting for you. There was an opportunity.
You get off many times. All right, go ahead.
But don't you know where the train track goes?
I just like to choke myself first. Huh?
Okay. Don't you know where the train tracks go? Like, I mean, it's like, okay, that's
you don't even know what city you're in, and you just know the train. You know it's going west. Okay, it's going west, but you don't know what state, city this specific rail line goes through, where you're going to end up. It could be cutting north to Bismarck, North Dakota, or south to Juarez, or you get your head cut off. I don't know.
Next, do you want to move on to the next story?
Which one are we going to go to?
Keep talking about how you were almost the first van lifer. We haven't got like 3 or 4 minutes.
Okay. I don't know. We could talk about it being the 6th warmest record on year on record, or city overrun by crows before I go into my rant.
Let's just do both. This guy's the other day. This is a quick little grab bag. On January 13th, an article posted by NASA says 6 questions to help you understand the 6th warmest year on record. So again, it says 2021 tied with 2018 as the 6th warmest year on a record that extends back to 1880. So it's getting warm. Obviously, global warming is a thing. Everybody knows it. The 6 questions that it wants you to ask is, what is the GISS, Global Surface Temperature Analysis? I don't think anybody has any idea what that means. It says, if the record shows unprecedented warming, why isn't every year the warmest year ever? How does NASA crunch the numbers to analyze global temperatures? How reliable is NASA's temperature analysis? What are some indicators and consequences of warming? And why does NASA estimate global surface temperature changes? Guys, it's getting warmer.
Global warming's a hoax now.
It's getting warmer. NASA wants you to know it's getting warmer. If you guys are super interested,
warm up a flat Earth. Just don't forget that.
If you guys are getting super interested, I feel like a flat Earth would be easier to warm up than a.
Really? I feel like if it was a flat Earth and there was polar caps around the sides, it would keep it cooler.
Like if you put a pizza in the oven versus like putting like a potato, something that has like.
Yeah, but the pizza would cool off much quicker because there's less surface area, and then it doesn't like get caught up in it.
Yeah, but we weren't talking about the cooling off part. We were talking about the heating up part.
Well, I mean, listen, let me tell you something, okay? We've had ice ages in the past. We ready for another one?
If you guys want to know more about how we just had the 6th warmest day on record, sixth warmest year on record. NASA's telling you all about it, guys. Global warming is a real thing. I don't even know how you can dispute it.
Excuse me.
Go ahead, tinfoil hat.
What'd you say now?
Tinfoil hat.
Can you prove it?
All right, 1980 van lifer. Tinfoil hat.
You can't prove it, so it ain't real. You have a theory.
You want to do your rant?
No. Okay. Fine.
No. Hold on. Before we get to the rant.
You just iced me like a kicker.
Yep. We call timeout, guys. One more story before we get to Stocky's rant. One more story. What's that?
Did Dallas get screwed in that last play?
Did they get screwed on that last play? No, they screwed themselves on that last play. But I mean, you want to talk about football right now? Or you want to talk about this city that's overrun by crows? You're the one wearing
a fucking Nebraska shirt.
Guys,
didn't you go to Mizzou?
A California city is overrun by crows. You've been You've been trying to talk about this crow thing all show. So could a laser be the answer? Sagi, tell us what's going on. Why is the city overrun by crows? Where is the city?
They're overrun by crows, and they can't get rid of them. They tried bringing hawks in, and the hawks are like, fuck this, I'm out. I'm not going to turn into those dogs in India where the monkeys were killing them. I ain't about to get fucking shanked by a bunch of crows, because crows are smart as shit. I don't know if you've ever seen a crow, but they're smart. Did you ever see that video of the guy who trained his crow to bring him back money for shiny objects or whatever?
No.
Yeah, and this guy trained his crow to go out the window of his apartment and go find money and bring it back to him, and got a reward. And he had a drawer full of money. The fucked up part, though, is that the crow was probably going and getting tips off tables from waiters and waitresses, wondering where everybody. Yeah, it's crazy, but this dude was banking. So crows are crazy. Okay, don't fuck with crows. All right.
So apparently,
don't fuck with crows.
Apparently, it says the downtown of Sunnyvale, California, has been bustling since the coronavirus pandemic started. More than 1,000 visitors have enjoyed a night on the town practically every evening for almost 2 years. But they do not come to slurp ramen or drink beer at the gastropub. They eat whatever scraps they can find outside, then they defecate all over the sidewalks. And obviously, they're not talking about humans. They're talking about these damn crows.
No, that's San Francisco.
The humans definitely are doing that there. In Sunnyvale, it's the crows. Stocky is apparently very scared of crows and says now the city is...
Crows. Ain't no scared of crows. I just said you don't fuck with crows in numbers. Listen. If Sunnyvale, California is listening to this for some reason, listen, don't introduce hawks. Don't let open season for people to shoot them down. We did that in Florida with the iguanas. Next thing you know, people are shooting each other. Oh, I thought it was an iguana. And don't use lasers. Okay? Here's what you do. Salt guns. I'm telling you, salt guns. But allow people to use some CO2 on those things, you'll get rid of them, because you're gonna have a bunch of people...
like table salt or like rock salt?
You never seen the salt guns that kill flies?
No.
Those are so badass. They're these little guns that you pull back and they have air, whatever, and you shoot it and the salt shoots out and it like neutralizes the flies. You pick them up and you kill them or throw them or whatever. That way you don't have to swat them. You can just have fun with it. Get extra large ones of those and let's just like take down the fucking crows. It's not gonna kill them, okay? You can round them up, and then you can grind them into whatever you want or release them. I don't care, but that's the way to do it. And people will have fun with it. It's non-lethal to each other, and I think that would be a blast.
I got images of a bug assault right now is what it's called. It says, fire your fly swatter. Fire your fly swatter. You got yourself a salt gun. All right, guys, there's a city in California that's overrun by crows. Don't go there unless you want to just see all the crows. Apparently, they're not slurping up the ramen or drinking the beer. So if you want to slurp up the ramen and drink the beer, go for it. There's just crow defecation everywhere.
And remember, I said salt guns, not real guns, because I don't want to get in trouble because somebody thinks I said gun, and then I have to eat crow.
Oh, God. Okay. So, Jesus, that was amazing. That was amazing. Good way to round it out. I'm doing my rant. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, every single podcast, I am going to have a rant that I have to go over every week because I am an angry old man that wants you to get off his lawn. And today's rant, the first ever one, is going to be about children's nursery rhymes. We need to revisit children's nursery rhymes. These things they're outdated and they're so bad. Rockabye baby in a tree, it falls out of the tree. Why is your baby's rocking chair in a tree? Humpty Dumpty is committing suicide. It's a horrible thing. Ring Around the Rosies is about the Black Death. The one I wanted to talk about today, and I listened to this because I'm a father now. I listened to this on the trip down south, and that is London Bridge is falling down. Now, have you ever listened to the lyrics of this, Alex? I've never heard the wait.
Okay,
What you mean?
first of all,
Yeah,
London
maybe
Bridge
I
is
have.
falling down. Keep saying "My Fair Lady." So whoever's singing this is telling this lady, "Hey, the bridge is falling down." Right? Why are you telling this lady? Is she building the bridge? So then they're like, "Okay, let's build it up with wood and clay." First of all, I don't know who thinks building a bridge, especially in a rainy place like London, with wood and clay in water is gonna last, right? Doesn't make any sense. Maybe it's because there's a woman building. I don't know. I'm not saying this, but there, who knows? Maybe I don't know why there's a lady here. Okay. Then they said wood and clay will wash away, My Fair Lady. I get it. Build it up with iron and steel. Okay, iron and steel. That sounds pretty good, especially for an older bridge, right? Iron steel will bend and bow. No, not if it's tempered. Not if you have correct iron and steel. But okay, fine. You don't want to do an iron and steel bridge? Fine. So they said, all right, build it up with silver and gold. Who the where? How are you going to bankrupt your entire kingdom and country with gold and silver to build a bridge, which you just got? Iron and steel bend a lot less than gold and silver, and people are going to come steal that shit. You're not even going to get halfway through doing that.
Yukon Cornelius. Go ahead.
Okay, and then he even goes on to say, build it up, the silver, and it'll get stolen away. And then here's how the song ends. Send a man to watch all night. Watch all night, watch all night. Send a man to watch all night, My Fair Lady. This song is about sexism. It's basically saying that women can't be engineers and that a man has to go and clean up her mess. And I think that is a horrible message to send to our children.
So what's the theme of the rant?
These children's stories and songs are not constructive in any way. They have hidden meanings. I think that this is an Illuminati thing to control our kids and to make them accept horrific outcomes.
This was Stocky's first rant on this podcast. We're going to start ending every podcast with one of these little rants. He chose children's nursery rhymes. It's quite the platform. But if you believe in Stocky, if you believe in this rant, if you believe in his cause and in his platform, do himself a favor and do yourself a favor. Stop by his stream tomorrow or any other time. Guys, you can find Stocky at twitch.tv/TheStockGuy. Go hang out with him in the mornings. Tell him all about how you're all in on innovation.
Jesus Christ, I'm reading the history of this and it's even worse.
You're all in on innovation around these nursery
Yo,
rhymes.
hold on. One of the origins is relates to supposed destruction of London Bridge by Olaf II in 1014 by Vikings attacking.
Bro, I know London Bridge is falling down.
Child sacrifice
London
Alice Bertha Gome put forward that the song refers to burying perhaps alive of children in the foundations of a bridge.
I didn't even know there were more lyrics than what I just said.
Bodies were found beneath London Bridge in 2007 while building work was being carried out by the London. Oh my God, it's worse than I thought.
Do people even still say that stuff? Hey, is London Bridges even still a thing anymore? No? I mean, yes. Guys, if you believe in Stocky's platform here and you jive to that rant, go say hi to him.
Jesus Christ, they found bodies under the bridge and I'm sorry.
You do not have to apologize.
I'm not apologizing to you. I'm apologizing to myself when I listen to this.
You're apologizing to yourself? That's what this was?
No, yes, because what happens is this is a bit of, let me tell you why. I have this incredibly crazy ADHD brain that never forgets anything, and I know that I'll never forget this piece of knowledge. I will, for the rest of my life, know that this song was potentially based on children being buried alive at the bottom of a bridge, and everybody thought it was fake until in 2007, they did excavation and found bodies under the bridge.
Guys, thank you all for listening today. This was episode 10 of the Stock Guy and Alex Show. If you guys are hyper interested in wondering if the quiet, silent protest is going to continue into next week, come back and hang out with us next week because this show is now weekly. This was episode 10, episode 11. You guys will be able to hear it next week. Follow, like, and subscribe on all of the socials. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out today.
These cocoa roasted almonds are amazing.
Yeah, coconut roasted almonds is Stocky's vice.
Cocoa.
Or I'm sorry, cocoa. Guys, this is the podcast that covers topics around the world: business, news, markets, money, sports. If people are talking about it, then so are we.
Look at these brown nuts I have.
This show can be watched, listened, and viewed on YouTube. Stocky was unhinged today. I tried to give him a couple opportunities.
Last episode, I was angry. Now I'm unhinged.
You
got
were
anything else abrasive?
you were angry. That was not according to me. That was according to you. You called yourself angry.
A couple weeks.
Yeah, so the Stock Guy AL3X Show can be watched, listened, and viewed on YouTube. It can also be downloaded and listened to wherever podcasts are downloaded. Follow the show on Twitter, Insta, LinkedIn, TikTok, and all the other major socials for clips, moments, and information about new episodes. Guys, we're out, and we will see you next week. Stocky, say bye.
Bye. London, y'all are fucking weird.